welcome to Brothers and Boss Battles bonus levels, which is an offshoot of our main show, Brothers and Boss Battles, a video game showdown. I'm Anthony, and along with my brothers Pete and Tom, we'll be discussing the lighter side of video games. These bonus level episodes are where we do drafts and lists and talk about other feel-good items with video games. And today, since we're in the throes of summer, we'd like to discuss games that make us think of summer. Who wants to start us off here? Pete, Tom, others.
I could start. This is a this one I'm gonna give some context. So Pete and I played this game like it was our job one summer. It was during when we were in college.
This is on my list too.
Yeah. We basically, woke up, had breakfast, and then started playing. Took a lunch break and then started playing again. And that game was Rock Band 2.
Yeah, that was one of the first games that I wrote down that reminded me of summer for that same very reason. We got so good at that game.
Yeah. Yeah, we were playing on the breakneck speed on expert.
Yeah, I remember you guys playing. It was just like, I couldn't compete. Like, I tried, but it's just, you guys really did treat it as your job. So
A game like that, especially if you're playing on like the harder difficulties, you really have to because it's just like, well, okay, it's not just like playing an instrument, but like, you got to kind of know what's coming.
Yeah.
What notes are coming, or whatever, how the songs go. So that's a good one.
That was a good one.
I want to throw it out there. This actually might be on a lot of people's lists because of the nature of the game, and that's Mario Sunshine. Kind of a summery game, but for me personally, I think this game came out like the tail end of summer, and I remember we got this, and it was like stormy summer day, and I remember popping it in for the first time and playing it, and so yeah, Mario Sunshine always makes me think of summertime.
Is that because it has sunshine in the name, or because you got it in the summertime?
Both.
So I would like to, for me, and I think for us, there's 3 early 90s Konami arcade games.
Oh man, this is on my list as well.
That remind me of summer because we would play them, if and when the years we went on vacation to like the Jersey Shore, we would play these 3 games in the arcade. And that's The Simpsons, X-Men, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. And, we just, I think that was the highlight of the trips for us, was like getting into those arcades and just playing the 3 of us together. So those were, certainly great games. And, those games have appeared in other bonus levels episodes, I feel, that we've talked about. And I feel like anytime they can be brought up in a category, that they will be. Because I think they just, they meant a lot to us. And, I now have the 3 arcade one-ups of those, or I have 3 arcade one of each of those games, just because I like them so much, and it's really hard to get them elsewhere other than Turtles in Time. But the other 2 are very hard to get. If you didn't get them from like the Xbox store when Xbox came out, it's kind of tough now, unless you emulate. So, those are 3 that are on mine and probably all of ours.
Yeah. Like I said, it was on my list, and yeah, really, right when we were kids, that was like literally the only time we would play. Basically, those games is on those summer vacations. I don't know if the highlight was playing arcade games with you guys or sitting on the beach in 100-degree sunny weather.
Yeah. I know what Tom liked best, the beach. But
Maybe it was the Jersey Shore fudge.
That is a close second.
Fudge was good.
So most of the games, other than Mario Sunshine, on my list are kind of games I remember playing with you guys, mostly with Tom, like all summer, sort of like Rock Band, how Tom mentioned. So one game I'm going to throw out is a game we just discussed on the podcast, NFL Street.
I had that too.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you could also throw Madden series games into that as well. Oh, we played
that during school year too, though.
Yeah. So scratch that. But I will say, I feel like there were baseball games that we tried to play all three of us on different teams, but in the same division. I remember that. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what was that? Like, was it triple play or was it high heat?
No, maybe like High Heat or MVP.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
like
those
that whole
games.
series and
Yeah,
stuff. That's when you had Ichiro and that made up guy like Dixie something or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
and like yeah.
They were at the top of my lineup. Yeah,
Right. And I remember Tom batted like 105 or something.
he was never really
But
into the baseball games.
yeah, it's not a knock.
But yeah, the baseball games would come out in this, April, maybe the
Spring-ish, yeah.
spring, and so then
we
you would
ramped up.
play. Yeah,
Yeah. Ramped up a
So-
lot in the summer. So I think, I felt like those baseball games were pretty popular for us then.
But getting back to NFL Street, I feel like we would play that like late at night.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. Yeah, we would play that until like I think it was 11 p.m. and then old episodes of Family Guy would be on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network, and we would watch that and go to sleep.
That's funny because I feel like the Rock Band thing, didn't we play that around like the old episodes of Family Guy was on like TBS at like 11 a.m. or something? Like, that's what
Yeah.
I think like
Yeah. Well, yeah, those channels, whenever they would get a show, it would be playing essentially on a loop. So
yeah. Especially like a summer schedule. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So another game that reminds me of summer, and a lot of people won't know this one, but it was for at least my first system, and I guess your guys too, which was TurboGrafx 16, because we were the cool kids. And there's this game called Yo Bro, which was published by NEC and developed by ICOM Simulations, and came out in 1991. And it's basically a game where you're the skateboarding bear with a slingshot, and you have to go through like 5 levels, getting rid of the enemy of that level to proceed. And it was a really tough, like old, almost unfairly tough kind of game. But I think the thing that makes it most summery for me is that the soundtrack was MIDI versions of Beach Boys songs, which are always, about surfing or cars and all of that. So it had a very summery vibe to it, mostly because of the soundtrack, but even the graphics were, bright and colorful and all of that. So, yeah, that's another summery game for me.
I feel like this came up recently when Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys passed away. And so like I had an itch to play it. So I played it for 20 minutes or whatever, and I couldn't get past the first level.
Yeah,
And I remember
thought
I was texting you guys and I was like, oh, this game is like impossible. I couldn't even get past the first level. And you were like, no, you should at least be able to get to the second or third
Yeah.
level before you can
Yeah.
beat it.
yeah.
So it's a really challenging game, but if anybody could find it on on the
On
computer or
not
whatever,
emulators.
just like go on eBay, get a TurboGrafx, get
Yeah, no big deal.
Get this cartridge, make sure it works.
Yeah.
all that.
a controller.
'Cause I don't think this was on the TurboGrafx Mini, so you can't even go that route, which they don't even make it anymore, I don't think. So if you didn't get it back in the day, which I'm so glad I got that.
Yeah, well, the TurboGrafx Mini, you might be able to find that on eBay or something.
Yeah.
So another game that I remember playing with you guys was Twisted Metal 3. I feel like there was one summer where we went really hard on that game. I remember like busting out the multi-tap peripheral for the PlayStation 1.
And were those like we were all competing against each other plus the computer, or was it a team?
Pretty sure we were all competing against
Just
each other.
cheating, yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't remember how the CPUs worked.
They were just controlled by
Like,
there's a
it was
few
more,
other
was
players.
it
Like,
just
maybe
us three on the map, or was it?
No,
but
I think there was AI controlled
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah. Man, those games are so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think back to a lot of these games that all the three of us played, but I couldn't really I feel like we played games all year round a lot
Yeah.
of times.
Yeah. I kind of, Yeah, I kind of feel that's true, but I think it ramped up in the summer, both because we were off from school, or like I played with my friends we were all also off from school, so you were just able to get together a little bit more and play a little bit more. So like a lot of those
Yeah, more
games,
free
like
time for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
so like there are ones that I definitely played all year, but that remind me of the summer, like including a lot of those WWE games like Raw and those. So like those, I felt like our play ramped up really a lot in the summer months.
Another game I had, I'm curious if Tom remembers this or had this on his list, but this is also another one summer endeavor of ours, Halo.
Yeah, yeah. Now that you mention it, I do remember that.
And that was years after it came out, right?
I think it was Halo 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it was, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the one on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
I think it was Halo 3. Yeah, yeah. That's right. I think I enlisted you to help with that so that I could get all the achievements or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that was fun. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
Fun game.
That was just the campaign we weren't playing. Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, that game is really popular, like, most popular for the multiplayer,
Yeah.
like online multiplayer,
Right.
which is not what we're talking about here. But yeah, that was a good call.
A game that reminds me of summer more of just for its contents and just the way I guess relate to or interpret it more so than like a time when we played it. But to me, the Tony Hawk series reminds me a lot of summer. Just I guess being outside, skateboarding, the pop punk soundtrack, and all of that. It just reminds me of
Yeah.
a lot of
The,
that
X-
together.
and the X Games took place during the summer.
Yeah. So it's just that was that whole thing was very summery to me. We did a bonus level episode of the remake of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 uh, about a month or two ago. If anyone wants to take a gander at that one, it's a pretty quick episode, but we go through the game and it's a pretty fun talk.
It's funny when I pitched this idea for this bonus level of kind of, games that make us think of summer or whatever. I was expecting to be able to come up with this huge list, and I really couldn't. Um, I think that's because, especially as a kid, right? Most of the times we got games for Christmas, which is the winter, or our birthdays, which was more in the spring.
Yeah.
So I feel like we didn't get a lot of new games in the summer.
No.
That's true. But I know one game that I did get in the summer one year that I bought for myself. That and that was Tales of Symphonia.
Mm.
And so I remember this one, one because I thought it was a great game, and I that was the first Tales game that I played, and it ended up, I ended up playing a lot of the Tales games after that because I liked this one so much. Yeah, I mean, I remember, for those who are not familiar, it's it's an RPG, which, and it has quite a bit of side content, so it takes a long time to really get through the game. But yeah, I mean, I remember just that summer I was spending a lot of time indoors playing that game.
Like that meme where it's like, oh, it's nice out. You should go outside and you just open the window so some sun gets in, but you continue playing the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, that came out in 2004. So that's 21 years old. Wow. It can now drink.
In America.
In the US. So another game, and this kind of follows the three arcade games, the X-Men and Simpsons and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that remind me of summer. But there was in a hotel we stayed at in the Jersey Shore. They had a very small, like not independent, but like they had their own arcade with about 4 or 5 arcade games. And one of those games was Golden Axe, which is a great game. We had it for Sega, the Sega Genesis. I mean, but like I also associate it with summer, just playing it at a hotel. So that's another quick one.
It's a good one. Are they ever gonna make that Golden Axe reboot?
It's supposed to be done, and not done. They're supposed to be doing that. I thought. I mean, I haven't heard any, like reneging of that
Yeah,
thought.
just around all those like Sega reboot games. There's like very little information about them. But
Yeah,
I can't wait for the Golden Axe one.
Yeah, Golden Axe will be fun. Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
Check out when those come out. When those drop, we'll be doing some shows. So
I had one more kind of game, quick, not too interesting for anybody to hear, I think, but Bomberman Generations on GameCube. I remember playing that. I think more by solo player, which is rare for me, but playing that a lot one summer, so came to mind. So I thought I'd throw it out there.
I got one more.
all right,
And
Tom,
that-
you take us home.
All right. So the last game on my list is Battlefield Bad Company 2. So I had bought a PS3 this year, 1 year in college. And yeah, this was like the first game that I got for the PS3, and my friends were all playing it. So yeah, that summer I played a lot of online Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Very nice. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This has been Brothers and Boss Battles bonus levels, where we've discussed games that remind us of summer. Make sure to like and subscribe our podcast, Brothers and Boss Battles, a video game showdown, to get all of our content. You can visit us on social media, X, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at Bros Boss Battles. That's BROS Boss Battles, or wherever you get this podcast. Take care, everyone.